Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Saving Star Trek pre-show watch party. With me is Admiral T. How you doing, Admiral?
I'm doing okay. We got a banger of an episode for you guys tonight. Man, tonight is a one episode show for both of these programs because there would be, in my opinion, I don't know about you, Jerome, could there be any pulling in a discussion of Azati Prime and damage in under like 4.5 to 5 hours? That is each one of these episodes will take 3 hours.
Yeah, just about. But we got some people in the chat already. John the Beagle Dad, hello.
You ready for one of the most exciting space battles you're going to see in Star Trek? Gavin, hello.
Hello, Gavin. Okay, the pinned comment has the link to the theater. Let's get this
You'll love
started.
that information. It's right there for you.
Oh, they got a new track for the music.
Are you talking about the previously on music?
They redid the music for this opening part.
What, the Faith of the Heart part?
No, the one they're actually playing right now.
Oh yeah, it is a little different. I think this is the Zindi's music. I thought he was going to say Lost in Space, right? I really dislike this version of the song. How about you, Germ?
Yeah, it's especially inappropriate for this season.
And what's weird is that they've jumped up and livened up this song without doing a second recording session. The guy's still singing the way he did when it was a more mellow song. They changed the bass. They added a lot more
Uh,
percussion.
they didn't want to pay him to re-record it, so they just remixed what they had.
They added a little bit of the orchestral element too, because they realized that's what was missing. If you heard the version of Faith of the Heart that I put on the coming attractions for tonight, it was better than theirs. It's been a long road. One of the cooler things they did here was kit bash the shuttle, like so they could use it.
Yeah, that was well, it made that one episode worthwhile.
Oh, what do you mean? The fact that we don't mention it again, but this is a super attack shuttle?
No, Archer becoming obsessed with the hatchlings.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got some of their tech from. We would have gotten their tech from the shipwreck anyway, but yes. I just like how they've kit bashed this shuttle to work for them. It's got a few human instruments put it on there. It reminds me of nothing so much as the Millennium Falcon. It looks like it has gear from like 3 different eras. You know what I mean? Except this ship has actual control surfaces, unlike the Millennium Falcon, which apparently is flown with a D-pad, right?
Yeah.
Or do you think Han Solo goes mouse and keyboard?
He has a big red button.
Now, T'Pol has a lovely outfit in this. She looks hot. But I would encourage everybody, watch the outfit. The collar changes. They're not sure what they're doing with this yet. Sometimes it's a little more built up than others in back. See how she has like a Mandarin collar here? And her outfit this is one of her weirder outfits. She looks good in it, but like, who sat down and said, "Sir, is pink and brown"? It's a modern transphasic material, says Gavin.
Okay.
I have to say, out of everybody's ships we've ever seen, the Zindi insectoids have the one that looks the most intuitive. That control yoke looks like a control yoke, for lack of a better term. Hey, Gorilla.
Hey, Gorilla. That control yoke is they
Logical
stole that
looking.
from the Ferengi ship.
The thing is, it looks logical. A lot of times we just lay our hands on top of a panel. It works for a larger ship. It doesn't mess with your mind, but with this ship, it's so small. We've got a bad Godzilla effect. Maybe I need to refresh. There we go. Is this Archer's first cold-blooded killing?
I'm not sure about that.
I think it's his very first cold-blooded killing, isn't it? He's like, fuck him. Like, they're not a threat.
Completely cold-blooded. Oh, they are a threat.
Well, that's true. I guess the base could have weapons, but the thing is, they're a threat to communicate in 4 hours. The last mission took 25 minutes. Hey, it is a very good episode. It does a massive task of setting up perhaps the best episode of moral exploration and Archer's character development in the entire series. I think we're on a long streak of really good episodes. It's good to see you, RTNZ. How are you, my friend?
How you doing,
Yeah,
Zed?
honestly, this is an excitingly good episode. Right now, we have Mayweather and Trip are basically the Bothan spies in this Return to the Jedi like plot.
Yeah, that's a good analysis of it.
By the way, we don't get CGI like that anymore. It's a lost art. Computers improved and destroyed CGI.
Funny that.
They look so much like Cylon Raiders, those insectoid ships. And I guess those are the aquatics crafts.
Yeah.
And we have some aquatics just plain old walking around. My favorite Zindi is the avians, Germ.
You mean the one we never see?
The ones that went extinct.
They're the lucky ones.
Yeah, that's what Flock said to do it to Paul. Oh, almost a laugh there.
Oh, good to hear you're okay, RT and Z.
Yes, you're right about all that stuff. And we agree. All he was a guy with an opinion. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him. It was terrible. And one of the worst 3 or 4 pieces of video I've seen in my life. I don't know about you, Germ.
Not as high, but still pretty bad.
I think it was the ghoulish nature of it that had me the most, you know? Like a light switch. By the way, Archer is a badass here, isn't he? What a leader. Like, they're all debating the mission. Everyone gets a chance to volunteer, and he's like, no, it's me.
It's not the smart choice.
It's not, but it's the greatest choice for this show and for this story. He's the strongest. He's the smartest. He's one of the best pilots. He's been to NX flight school. And then this part of the episode pisses me the fuck off. We didn't even need it. Did you know this is allegedly the bridge?
That is one
What is it?
Design.
His time travel suit gets uglier every time we see it, too. Archer is beyond badass in the torture scenes. This turned me around on Bakula as an actor. Yeah, I have long had this feeling that one of Archer's things is that he realizes he's the first human anyone's met. So he wants us, he tries to act like crazy and frightening to unnerve his tormentors. Every time he's captured, he has acted extra crazy and antagonistic. Germ, what did you think?
It's possible. That is the most hideous designed ship I've ever seen.
They did it from drawing to CGI in 2 days. That was a hell of an explosion to send the shockwave through the vacuum, but we accept that in Star Trek. What says weakness more than Mr. Daniels' hairline?
Yeah, that is pretty bad. They could have at least filled it in a bit.
It's not a sustainable head of hair. The captain looks better. That Caesar of his is getting a little bit more wax every week. Have you noticed?
Well, it definitely looks better compared to Daniel's head.
Everyone's hair looks great next to Daniels. Picard's hair looks great next to Daniels. I would have looked at his hand before I shook him off. I think that would have been more. I've been. People have said he can't do malevolence, but he can do anger.
Oh, he does anger quite well.
I'm not going to go to war with the people who say that he's not good with anger. I'm sorry, he's not good with evil. Maybe some characters can't play evil, but he is really good with anger. And that was a great shot of our ship. By the way, this is a great fucking scene.
Send Mayweather. He's expendable.
I would have sent Mayweather. It's like, Travis, your family's going to be really proud in 5 years when they find out. That was an amazing moment.
It is completely not necessary. Send the expendable Mayweather, blow up the weapon, and then present them with this information.
If you want me to feel bad, send Mr. Reed. He's a good weapons guy. Or Trip. He can fly better than probably Mr. Mayweather. But I think it goes without saying the best pilot on the ship is the captain. What is with the Xindi asshole? He can't call up the other Xindi and say, send the ships through first and begin the assault. This is a one-shot assault by the Xindi. You know what I mean? They don't send through like a million TIE fighters or something like that to try to, shock troop us and then send in the weapon. I guess they only like the Pearl Harbor style attack, which makes no sense because they know we're coming for them. So why not send in some heavy cruisers and stuff like that first? What do you think of the Xindi plan, Germ? Or jump in from several systems at the same time?
They probably don't have the ability. They could jump in, probably.
Communicate with one of your other bases. You know what I mean?
They probably don't have too many more ships than that.
They may be a little shorthanded due to what happened to their planet. Daniels wanted Archer to take the kamikaze mission and be captured because he knew Archer would do the opposite of whatever he asked him to do, which is why he pretended to talk him out of it. Huh. Make sure you remind me about that during the review part of the show. Interesting. I think the only problem with that theory is that Daniels is only good enough of an actor to sort of get it across because you picked up on it and I didn't. But I've had contempt for Daniels as an actor since day one. How about you, Germ?
Complete disdain. You don't need to. I'm sure Travis would volunteer.
And he has a shot of making it back that's a little bit possibly better than yours. He's genetically programmed to evade the authorities. He's a boomer. By which I mean he spent his life in space at the edge of the law. And it's generational in his family.
At the very
People
least, he
probably
had a ship named after him.
people thought that I would. People probably thought I was going in a different direction with that, didn't they?
I was kind of hoping you weren't.
You know you can trust me not to. Damn, what a leader.
It's a good speech.
Patrick who? RTNZ might be right. He's forged this crew from nothing. He has a right to be proud. He needed Archer to do this, huh? So Daniels is the most powerful character in this story. He's just really boring.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Daniels is a weirdo who uses time travel to go back and keep fucking his first wife over and over or something like that. You left him because he was a boring weirdo. Maybe they don't have the second caller in this episode. Maybe it's just different from the one before. These two fitness models give us some acting like you wouldn't believe on the fucking bridge. And a coppery tear runs down her Vulcan cheek. Gavin, I like you. I like the cut of your jib with that. Or to go to see like Ozzy's first tour.
And let's not forget the whole Back to the Future scenario.
Just
Who
don't have
wouldn't want to be
sex when
Biff
you're.
Tannen?
Don't have sex when you go back in time. Have sex when you go. You only have sex when you go ahead in time. I did like the 3 overlapping different kinds of scanner sweeps, like long, medium, and short range scan. We might have to add like a little Star Trek rule, like the interface is logical and adds to the story. Unlike on Strange New Worlds, where they're talking about how the ship's fucked, and behind them the screen's reading like optimal on everything because they can't afford to change the readout.
Yeah, that's always a downside.
Don't destroy the one named Kirk. Yes. Trip is totally correct, by the way. He just notified her now. You know what I mean? Like, what is she talking about? This episode is so dense that Trip doesn't have a moment to mourn for his captain. That was his friend of like 15 years. I would go so far as to say that Trip loves Captain Archer. We've seen what he does to people who try to fuck with him. Oof.
Oh yeah, like a brother to him. I think Trip's beginning to realize that T'Pol is compromised.
He's ready to countermand or belay her orders at this point. That speech in the ready room showed him that she was putting herself first, and he's trying to figure out how he can be in the engine room and the bridge at the same time because he has to be in that engine room. It's a real crisis. He's going to try to remotivate her before he takes over as captain. He's got damage control problems like you wouldn't believe, and he had to go talk to her. To Trip, Archer is definitely like an older brother. Yeah, a really close one, RRTN said. They're like, there's very little daylight in their personalities, between their personalities, too. As far as how they would do things, the only thing I would say is I believe Trip is more extreme and violent than Archer. What do you think, Germ?
Well, yeah, he is a Florida man.
And Archer's from New York, right? So, of course. I like this reptilian supremacy. It's hilarious. It's a great little Star Trek touch, isn't it?
It's a good touch.
This is a great talk. Beneath the light of the four lights, huh? Hey, Germ, did you ever dance with a reptile Zindi beneath the four lights?
Huh.
New Trek would not have contextualized it. This was the only flaw in the episode to me. Like you're what do you, so what? I'll buy my people 5 more minutes. What do you? I will hold off on destroying them now to double destroy them later. That was a little bit. RTNZ, did you read a couple of novels on this? Is that how you know this stuff? Because it sounds about right. I agree with that too. What he said at 9:30. Apparently, the reptiles' brains are only developed enough to feel fear and anger. Makes sense in the context of this show. They're such arseholes that it's immensely satisfying when they die. Yeah, they have. They learned a lesson from humanizing one too many enemies. They humanized the Suliban to get the Dean Stockwell episode in, and now we just can't really go hard at the Suliban anymore. So having the Zindi be factions is the ultimate Brannon Braga solution. Am I right, Germ? This is the ultimate like late Star Trek solution. Like the good guys will have some redemptive elements, but instead of making the whole race redemptive like we keep doing, we'll just make a few individual. We'll have a redemptive, rebellious element within the bad guys, and they'll win.
Yeah, it's a good touch. But that whole fear and anger part, that's all lizards. It's a trait of cold blooded.
Lizards feel pleasure when they lie on the hot rocks. I disagree. Lizards feel happy when they take down their prey for a moment. I had a lizard. They live 20 years. They have them in Australia. They're called water dragons. I had one for like 20 years. And it could swim. It could only take a shit in water, so you didn't need a litter box. It just had a huge open top fish tank. And until it got big enough to eat like fish, like goldfish, it only could eat like bugs. You know what I mean? You buy feeder bugs, and you had to feed the bugs and then cover the bugs in protein dust before you gave it to the thing. And it was only just so stimulating to it. But once I moved it to the goldfish, it got smarter really fast. Like it was Binky was the name of the lizard. But to answer your RTN side. Oh, we were best friends in a weird holodeck adventure where we kept you drugged up for weeks and wiped your mind twice. You don't remember that? Oh, wait. I made sure you don't remember that. Yes, John, there are 4 lights. They keep them out of frame, but they're all at once. Oh, is that Emilio Lizardo is from Buckaroo Banzai. You're right. I forgot that for a moment. That's a great movie. It's weird and slow and has like dead spots in it, but it's a great fucking movie.
I don't think I've watched that since the 90s.
It's weird and it's slow. It's got a couple of dead spots in it, but it's a great fucking movie. It's a great, great movie. It's part of this. They hacked off the better part of the script to make Big Trouble in Little China. That was supposed to be the sequel. That's not the pocket I'm usually talking about when I tell people I've got something for you in my pocket.
Yeah, usually don't want alien scientists digging in that pocket.
You know, I feel this was a very TOS moment where he lunged forward and bared his teeth and like got in Degra's face, because that is such a Captain Kirk, like the most savage animal we've ever encountered is man. Like that is so TOS. It's a very TOS moment. Tucker Smallwood, ladies and gentlemen, the great Tucker Smallwood. Oh. Did you notice the Godzilla effect for real in those scenes? It's not your Cosby, guys. Some of Tucker Smallwood's dialogue got changed. Yeah, Germ. What about the aquatics?
Hey, who cares about the aquatics?
Seem to be the masterminds behind building the weapon, even though this guy designed it. How many wars did the Zindi subspecies fight against each other? What was it like when they fought? What was it like when they finally figured out that the insect men were just like them? You know, the insects love their hatchlings too. I mean, what was that moment like? Her ears are either better or worse. I don't know if I like the effect in the HD. I'm looking at them and it's like they are really well done. At the same time, you can still a little bit tell. What do you think, Germ?
Yeah, they're not too bad.
What do you think Shran calls Hoshi?
I can't say that on YouTube.
What does he call Mr. Prideweather?
I really can't answer that.
Rhymes with bag?
Something like that.
you and your friend over there. Mr. Pronouns. Yes, it is a lot from Russians by Sting. RRTNZ's been listening to the music. There is some weird new song with Sting singing with like this like like reggae rap trio. It is the strangest thing. The song isn't terrible, but I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, Sting's been a weird guy for probably 40 years now.
Get the hell out of here. He's been a weird guy for like 75 years since the day he was born. He is just weird. Yeah, Gavin knows it's a British cigarette for sure. This is amazing. And you said that those rocks have been on screen before for Star Trek.
Oh, they're just foam blocks. I wouldn't
they're
imagine.
Not legacy foam rocks. They just made the same kind of foam rocks. I got you.
I don't imagine the foam rocks lasted the maybe 5 years or 10 years since DS9 used them.
We almost got rid of an annoying cast member right there. So close, huh, Jerm?
Yeah, close, but no cigar.
This episode is dense. Same rocks from Galileo 7. Hey, the Mukhtari Nebula was the what they call what was left after they blew up the spheres. It was still part of the Delphic Expanse. That's my headcanon. What a spectacular space battle.
For the series, it's probably the best they got.
Yes. Same rocks from Farpoint, says Tia's. Yes. These are the same rocks from Where No Man Has Gone Before with Gary Mitchell. Some of them were in the cage, but not the menagerie. They're only canonical to the cage, not the menagerie. They got cut for the menagerie. Gene Roddenberry recast the rocks from the cage. But
that's actually a pretty big stunt for them with lighting the guy on fire.
It's an expensive stunt to do. Look at this is incredible. Look how well rendered this is, though. We see their faces and everything. It's incredible. I could see one guy's hair and ears. By the way, they're doing the cap. Oh, look at that. And we know what happens when the hull gets breached that way. It is, look how fucked up you can see through the ship. I could see through the saucer section right there.
Yeah, they took their time in rendering it.
They're trying to save their show. They know like they're hearing stuff at this point, and the company's changing hands.
No, they just cared about what they were doing back then, unlike today.
If you could join my pal Germ and I for a few minutes, we're going to just sort of presage what goes on later and build up his minutes analytic, because once we get him fully charged up to four bars of hours, we are going to monetize his channel and set him on the path to being more gainful YouTuber. So like help us out with the hours now and the likes, and share this if you want. And for like 5-10 minutes, we'll spitball our thoughts and presage what's going on later. I mean, no secret here. Everybody knows this one's going to be an A. What kind of an A remains to be seen, and why JT will find a reason to say it's a terrible episode. Well, we're going to find out. But wow! What did you think?
Very good episode, except for that maybe 3 to 5 minutes with Daniels in it.
Great. Yeah, we didn't need it at all, did we?
No.
Were they trying to retroactively bail out their own bad writing and wasting 3 minutes of a very dense episode that needed because if we lose Daniels, you know what I would have replaced it with? 2 to 3 minutes of a Trip alone, maybe even with no dialogue, fixing something. He stops, he thinks of Archer, you know what I mean? He hears Archer's voice in his head, perhaps, you know what I mean? And like starts working like maybe is a little bit crossed with like some of the engineering crew and like sets back to work with like more intensity. Like that's like if either one of these men got married, does anyone think anyone but the other one would be their best man? These are as tight as two spacemen get.
Gavin.
No, you see the fire on the Discovery always shot out in the same two places. It's the same two places it shoots out on the Enterprise in the new Trek Enterprise. He's having fun with the way we troll the show. The smoke always shoots out of the same places too. That ship sucks. The Enterprise that they have in Strange New Worlds has entire areas where people know not to go because they just explode in fire every time the ship's in combat or under stress. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
that perfect episode right there.
Trip could have thought about Archer while he was in the decon chamber with Hoshi and T'Pol. That would have worked.
What do we need Trip for?
I think that one of the things this episode was missing was just Trip coming to terms with the fact he lost his best friend. But at the same time, I guess maybe Trip isn't going to process it, so it's not really about that to Trip.
Yeah, not yet.
Yet.
You don't process that.
Not allowing himself to think of it. This is probably a season high easily. Arguably a series high in conjunction with this next episode, because the next two episodes together, if this was season 4, they just would have called it one story, wouldn't they? The next story is really Azati Prime Part 2.
Yeah.
Or this could be called Damage Part 1. I don't know which one is a stronger title. Damage is a better title.
Yeah, probably, since you don't really get the reference for Azati Prime. They never really built it up. Yeah.
It means nothing. We found out about this place 5 episodes ago. But then again, like, they did do a good job with their fake name. Azati Prime sounds a little bit like Bikini Atoll, which is it's supposed to be evocative of. Archer calls it so much in as many words in an episode about 4 episodes back. While they had Dago detained.
Yeah, I think so.
We are there is a whole show to be had in what the hell happens, and maybe Trek United will pick this up. What happens to those idiots who had that extremist religion built around the spheres once we destroy them all and make the ones that are left stop working? I don't think we get every single one of them. I think we deactivate the spheres in general, don't we?
No, I believe they all go.
I forgot whether it was your classic Star Trek cascade explosion where everything goes up, or they needed to pull a few pieces out of the puzzle and it fell apart. But this episode, to me, this is Star Trek doing Return of the Jedi with a serialized punch. I thought that it had some weight, and it might be more enjoyable of a sci-fi tale than many people, not maybe me, but many people find Return of the Jedi. What do you think of that thought?
Well, it's a thought. I don't see how it could ever compare to Return of the Jedi. It has some similarities, but still the scope and the storytelling nowhere close. Okay, but thanks everyone for stopping by.
Oh, I was muted. Oops.
Oh yeah, you were.
Sorry about that. If you want, I have like 4 quick things about how it actually lines up with Return of the Jedi, but up to you.
Go ahead.
We have a big bad base, right? The Azati Prime is like, it's like Endor. Death Star 2's Imperial Forest Moon. We have an impenetrable barrier with a sensor detection net and the Endor shield generator being roughly the same thing. And we got 4 people watching now. Hit that like. This energy dome protects, the Sanctuary Moon and the Death Star. We got the same thing. We got the sensor net that surrounds Azati Prime. We have Rebel infiltrators, the Tucker and Mayweather first. They're kind of like the Bothans and sort of like part of the mission later with Han and Luke. And then, of course, later Archer takes up the same mission. We do it in 2 parts in this, but we take up the same mission that Han, Leia, and Luke and the squad took up with the Ewok backups. The desperate diversion, Archer's Moonstrike versus the Rebel fleet assault with Lando, turns into really the diversion because the real fight's in the throne room. The Lone Heroes Gambit, Archer's kamikaze run, Luke's showdown with Vader and the Emperor. We have the fractured foe with the key parallel. Degra as a rebellious version of Jared, as if he had a spine. The pragmatic primate overseeing the weapons build like a dutiful Imperial, but Archer's intel on the reptilian betrayal via the Zindi Starfleet medal. Plant seeds of doubt. He's not a bootlicker. He's the voice of reason, cracking under Doldum's iron fist of zealotry, hinting at the internal Zindi civil war that's brewing. Whereas Moff Jared is the same kind of figure in here, but he's a little stressed out. He's a Death Star commander. He's kowtowing to, he's afraid of getting chokeholded. He's bending to Palpatine's whims and overseeing the shield op with nervous efficiency, but he's a cog in the machine loyal to a fault. He's different from Degra that way. There's a cliffhanger carnage, the Zindi Wolfpack ambush, 4 reptilian cruisers hammer the battered NX-01 in one of the best battles we see. It's a brutal broadside with fusillade after fusillade laying into the beloved NX-01 in a brutal attack, venting the atmosphere, venting crew to Paul's emotional meltdown. It's a gut punch as the ship's drifts left, drifting flames and some sort of vapors. It looks really great. It's like a World War II gun cam sort of thing. It's just falling out of the sky, even though it's just spinning through the stars out of control. It mirrors the Imperial Counter-Strike. Death Star super laser gets a few hits in. The hands attack doesn't really work, but then he drops the boom and gets the shield down just in time for Lando's trench run. Hubris on both sides, sort of setting the stage. And then the thematic gut punch, desperate pre-Federation humanity versus manipulated Zindi factions. Timey-wimey stuff reveals force uneasy alliances over blind revenge versus the rebels versus the crumbling empire. The family redemption that trumps tyranny, and Ewok underdog slipping the script on the Stormtrooper arrogance. I wrote that for you. I wrote that for this show.
It's very good.
Hey, you know what? I just thought that you deserve a unique angle on this one, and I appreciate everyone watching. So spread the word. When you tune into Germ's Watch Party, I'll be here at some point, and I will have takes that I'll expand on them later, but you're going to get the Just Add Water version here, plus maybe something hot that you might not have thought of. Like, it is about destroying a Death Star, but it's a lot more like Return of the Jedi than A New Hope. A lot more. In fact, it's got almost nothing to do with A New Hope. This is purely Return of the Jedi, but please hit the like button. Join this channel if you haven't. Germ is a great YouTuber. He's been helping me. He is part of the Saving Star Trek solution to the Kurtzman Drac. He helps me polarize the hull. He is one of the most important members of my tactical defense team, and I have to thank him once again for running this watch party. Thanks a lot, pal.
Yeah, glad to do it.
You know what? It's a damn good episode, isn't it?
Yeah. And be sure to join us on Teague's channel in about 10 minutes for the Saving Star Trek review. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. We'll see you later.
Love you all. Bye.